Another slice of vocab that shows up in this section is the word transversal. A transversal is a line that intersects two or more lines. So we look at this diagram on the right. T is a transversal. Line T is a transversal because it intersects lines L and M. Those are my two lines that are being intersected. With transversals, we get a ton of properties. So we want to start with the vocabulary here. Notice it's already been written out for you, but I do want to help you parse the language in these statements. So we get corresponding angles. These are angles on the same side of the transversal, again noting that T is a transversal intersecting both lines L and M. So angles on the same side of the transversal and in the same position. What we mean by position is, note that there are 4 angles created here and 4 angles created there. So 4 on top, 4 on the bottom. In this picture, they're broken up into like top left, top right, bottom right, and bottom left. So if we think about those 4 positions, we can come up with our corresponding angles. So angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding. That's my top left position. Angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding. They're in the same position. We have angle 4 and angle 8 in my bottom left position. And we have angle 3 and angle 7 in my bottom right position. So we get a bunch of corresponding angles. We'll have properties for corresponding angles in the next section. Let's go ahead and clear off my diagram. So the next vocabulary word is alternate interior angles. And the names here can help you find what we're talking about. Alternate means opposite sides. So we are looking for angles on opposite sides of the transversal. That's the word alternate. And then interior. Interior means between the 2 lines being intersected. So I'm looking for angles which are on opposite sides of the transversal, one on the left, one on the right, but are between L and M. So we actually get a couple examples. 4 and 6 are alternate interior angles. And then we also have 3 and 5. They are on opposite sides, but both between those 2 lines, L and M. Angle 3 and angle 5. So notice the next thing they want us to do is alternate exterior angles. So we still have that word alternate. Notice opposite sides is still a part of my definition here. I want opposite sides of the transversal. But now instead of interior, I want exterior. Exterior means on the outside of those parallel lines. So instead of stuff between L and M, I'm looking at angles out here. So now I'm changing what I'm looking at. Well, these didn't quite stay the way I wanted. That's okay. So if I'm looking at angle 1, that's on the outside. Its alternate interior angle, exterior, its alternate exterior angle will be 7. Opposite side of the transversal, one's on the left, one's on the right, but they're both outside. Likewise, we get another pair. Angle 2 is on the right side, angle 8 is on the left. Those are our alternate exterior angles. Similarly, instead of alternate, we can also have angles which are what's called consecutive. Consecutive is a fancy way of saying same side. So instead of on opposite sides of the transversal, consecutive angles are ones that are on the same side of the transversal. So now I can have consecutive interior and consecutive exterior, just like I had alternate interior and alternate exterior. So looking at what we have here, consecutive interior, we are once again talking about the inside between L and M. And we want to be on the same side of the transversal because it's consecutive now instead of alternate. So I want to be between L and M and on the same side of the transversal. So 4 and 5 is one pair, 3 and 6 are another pair. And then switching from consecutive interior to consecutive exterior, notice what changes. Instead of angles on the inside, I want angles on the outside. I'm still talking about ones on the same side of the transversal. So instead of all of this stuff inside, I'm now looking at angles like 1 and 8. Again, they're both on the left side of the transversal, they're on the same side. And then I have 2 and 7, my angles on the right. So this is all the vocabulary that we need for this section. Let's go ahead and look at a couple examples.